So you have Jordan Love on the field, and he injures his hand yesterday. So, I mean, there was seeding on the line for the Packers, but it didn't really come up to Green Bay. It didn't matter what they did. It was more about what Washington was going to do. So Green Bay ends up getting the 7. They preferred the 6, of course. Washington was in that same spot. They're happy with the 6. But Green Bay gets the 7. They're going to go to Philly for Wild Card Weekend coming up on Sunday. So it is the Eagles at 14-3, and we have not seen their quarterback in a long time. By the time he gets back on the field, it's going to be about a month since he's played a full game. We don't know how Jalen Hurts is doing, how he's going to respond from the concussion. Certainly something that we're going to speculate all season long. And when you look at the Green Bay Packers, something else that has to stand out, Sam, is the struggles within the division. You bring that up because the division is so great, because it's the best in the league. So overall, they've had their struggles against tough competition, and people, that might be one of the angles that they're betting, because this is one of those point spreads that has been moving north as Eagles money has been coming in since it was posted last night.
Definitely some uncertainty with Jordan Love. That has to be a part of the equation. People don't know. I mean, forget not playing. They don't know how healthy he is. Can he do what he has to do? But you also have this faction of people that realize how good the Eagles are. There's always going to be respect for a healthy Jordan Love on the road because we've seen it. We've watched it with our eyes. We've seen them go on the road and play and hang. So I thought the opener was big time respect for Green Bay. But the Sharps didn't care. The Sharps said, yeah, okay, we'll bet against this version of Jordan Love that clearly hasn't been healthy since the opener against the Eagles, ironically enough, in Brazil, when Love got banged up in that game. And then I think he missed the next couple weeks, right? Because Malik Willis came in and took control of the team for a very small pocket. So he's been battling multiple injuries. He's not 100%, anywhere near it for that matter. And you have a Philly defense that has quietly rounded into one of the best in football. I mean, Sumer Sports has the Eagles 3rd against the rush and 6th against the pass. This is an outstanding defense and a turnaround that took them from one of the worst in the league last year to one of the best in the league this year under Vic Fangio. And their drafting has been insane. Jalen Carter on the D-line, Quinyon Mitchell at corner, Cooper DeJean at nickel. They've made all the right moves in the draft, and they've been able to develop these guys. So that defense against a mangled offense, you mentioned Watson. Didn't Watson get carted off yesterday? Did I make that up? He got hurt.
No, he got carted off.
Yeah. Okay, so he's carted out. Dobbs didn't play. It's not a healthy
Jair
Packers
Alexander's
offense.
done.
Yeah. Oh, he never plays. I
know.
He never plays
But when
anymore.
he is, he's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who plays more, Jair Alexander or Antoine Winfield. I don't know. I mean, they're always out. The secondary guy for Tampa. But that's, I believe, the reasoning for the move on Philly. Great defense at home against an offense that just isn't healthy right now.
When JLC mentioned 6, I was thinking, this ain't getting to 6. Sam, this is getting to 6. BetMGM's at 5.5, and I see a number of 5.5s out there, a couple 5s. I see a rogue 4.5 that's a little bit juiced. South Point's still at 4.5 at -110. But when are we going to get pushback on Green Bay? The only one I know that's saying bet Green Bay is Horvat. And he's always going to – it doesn't matter what the number is. He's going to say bet Green Bay because that's his team. He's a fan. So, I mean, maybe some injury news could decide which direction this ends up going with some of those other pieces, and also talking about Jalen Hurts. But, yeah, they got a chance to rest. Philly did all their guys. Jalen Carter, offensively, the weapons there. Offensive line, they ended up resting at least a few starters yesterday. So Packers coming in hobbled, and then the Eagles are going to be fresh. So it should be a big Saquon game. Looking forward to seeing what that number is. The second game, and this is going to be your Sunday night game on with Tirico and Collinsworth. It's going to be Tampa Bay, Washington. This one might not budge that much. A lot of
Nope.
movement with that Philly game, but this just could be a rock solid 3 all week. No movement on the side, no movement on the total. Bucks your home favorite going against another rookie quarterback here.
Could see anything happen in this game. Could make a case. Favorite, dog, over, under. Great game. Awesome for betting action. Tampa will be popular in parlays. We know that. People are going to moneyline parlay Tampa with a couple things, likely. I can't wait to watch Jaden Daniels in the playoffs, man. I cannot wait. And I think the obvious angle is to look at Baker Mayfield and Jaden Daniels and think over. But remember, a lot of these playoff games, the pressure picks up and offense, like look at that game last night, Detroit, Minnesota. The total was 57 at kickoff at a couple places. Didn't even come close. It's 10-9 midway through the third. These playoff games, for the most part, do not have the dual track meet. You're not going to see many Dallas Green Bay games like you saw last year, where it's just back and forth, back and forth. You don't generally see that in the playoffs. So I'm never one to think blind over in any playoff game. I can't wait to watch it. And you know what? I might end up with Washington money line, but I'm going to wait until Sunday night because I have a feeling you'll get the best price by Sunday night.
Yeah. The narrative, I mean, it's already out there and people are betting into it a little bit, but people forget. And the narrative about rookie quarterbacks and how much they struggle in the playoffs, especially going on the road, that's going to be out there. It's going to be an interesting one. Washington, they've really struggled against playoff teams this year. The one win that they have against playoff teams was the Eagles when Jalen Hurts got hurt. That's pretty interesting to me, that a lot of their wins coming against the soft portion of the schedule. How's Bowles going to do against a rookie quarterback? But, on that flip side, a little bit to your defense, the state of the Bucs secondary is a problem. It's been a problem all year. They can stop the run. They can't stop the pass. And these two teams did play this year, but it was back in week 1. Jaden Daniels had a very good running game, not so much passing. That's when the Bucs secondary was healthy. They are far from healthy at this point. Again, the number 3, we're not sure that you're going to see a ton of movement all week until maybe we get to that 3.5, 4, and that would be the best time to bet Washington. And then the one that we're really going to be excited for, Minnesota at the LA Rams, and we have seen some movement on this point spread. So Minnesota, LA, they're going to get a little extra rest and a lot of extra rest for the Rams since they didn't play any of their dudes. They sat all of the key weapons on offense yesterday. So it's kind of like a bye week for them. And right now, if you look at it, it is Minnesota -2. That's about where we open. Minnesota -2, number of 47. Earlier this morning, you could find a 1.5 on Minnesota at BetMGM. There are also some 2.5s available. And if you search, you can find 1.5 at a couple of spots out there. But they're going against the Vikings a little bit after watching them last night. I guess not a big surprise after having 3 possessions inside the 10 and scoring a total of 3 points.
Yeah, a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking on that game. Well, Minnesota stinks. Minnesota's a fraud. Sam Darnold's cooked. This is the Darnold we knew. Okay, if you want to take a team that went 14-3 and point to maybe their worst game in 2 months, go for it. Have at it. I'm seeing everybody say Rams so far. Your guy Danny Parkins last night was begging for a Rams line to bet the money line. So that's where we're at. Everybody wants to bet Rams and fade Vikings because Vikings lost to Lions, even though score was 10-9 third quarter.
This is going to be a very good conversation. And I don't want to jump in and just say, just fade the Rams, just fade the Rams. Great offensive minds on both sides. I'm really looking forward to this game.